question of the day: are inflatable wing boards legit? So starting to see the construction come a long way. There's a few good brands out there that have been making inflatable SUPs for a while, which is a good sign, so they kind of know the technology. And they're starting to make these hard plates like this Slingshot I-Fly here that are make the kind of template stiff enough to hold a mast. My general thing with inflatable wing boards is that, yeah, they're legit. They work well. Like, and the reason that they work is because they're normally, you know, there's a lot of reasons to get an inflatable board. Is it as good as a, you know, my premium hard board, call it hard board, you know, like a high-end, good quality wing board? No, definitely not. Does it work? Absolutely. Is it convenient because you can stick it in the back of your trunk of your car? Is it convenient because it's super high volume, which is really nice? Is it nice that you're buying oftentimes your first board that's not gonna break the bank? Like, inflatable boards are a lot cheaper than, you know, a full carbon production board. So we're really seeing it fit as like someone's, like, they live in a city, they've got low storage, you know, they don't want to break the bank and get, you know, really expensive board. Or a big thing is learning. Like, you can get super high volume boards, wing boards, that are actually really good to start on. Like, Nash has this 170 liter board. It's not that expensive. Like, you're gonna grow out of that or use it for light air, but you're not breaking the bank, and you have a 170 liter freaking sidewalk that's lightweight. I mean, this is pretty lightweight considering, you know, I've got board and foil. Like, it's actually reasonably lightweight. Whereas if you're getting a cheap glass or carbon board, pseudo carbon, a lot of times they're really, really heavy. So there's definitely some pros. The cons are they still are gonna have some flex. Like, the bottom shape, it's not gonna deflect like you really want your, you know, like if you have a board with really good bottom shape, the inflatable is just not gonna deflect off. It's not gonna take off. It's not gonna have that kind of ease of performance. But does it work? Absolutely, 100% works. So I'm gonna go do a little on-water testing with this. This is a Slingshot 5.3 105 liter I-Fly. Just do some on-water, share some deep thoughts and feelings about inflatable boards. Pretty quick, easy to pack up, easy to set up. So I'm gonna go high performance Armstrong 1125 HA, low performance inflatable wing board, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it feels kind of stiff. We'll see. Pretty solid. I mean, for inflatable, like, you can pump these things up hard with that pump. Just gotta learn to take the valve out. One of these things, it's kind of like having your yoga mat on your board. You know, everything's just a little bit softer than your hard board. Little glider. How's she pump? Not bad. Yeah, with the inflatable board, you know, the main things that you notice that you miss from having like a good quality hardboard is you know, the takeoff, the ease of takeoff. Like, you definitely lose some flex while you're standing on it and pumping it to get going. It also has just more drag with these big fat round rails. Doesn't have that kind of harder rail and flatter, you know, it has a flat back like some of the modern boards, but it just doesn't have that glide. Also touchdown, like you touch and you stick. It doesn't kind of deflect off. Pumping, it's actually not that bad. Performance, turning, like, overall the inflatable board is way better than you expect. And, you know, again, we really see these as relevant for people that don't have room for freaking giant hard wingboard, want to travel. You know, the smaller ones you want to travel with, really makes it super easy. Or also beginners that don't want to break the bank and want to have a huge high volume board. So let's take some more sessions and we'll do a little debrief on land. Things I think about is how durable are these things? Well, if you're going with like a wing brand like Slingshot, wingboard brand like Slingshot or Nash, who's been making inflatable SUPs for a while, you're pretty sure it's going to last, you know, and it's going to hold up. Yeah, you can get a puncture, which can totally end your session, but you can also get a ding in your hardboard, you know. So another thing is it's pretty buoyant. Like, they do like to ride up on top of the water, so you're a little more on top of the water. Again, not that big of a deal, and for what you get, super fun stuff. Paddle pretty well. Try to not get pounded by the shore break. All right, so overview on inflatable wing boards. There's some pros, there's some cons. I think they're legit and they're here to stay. Compact, easy to set up. Performance is actually surprisingly good. Price is less expensive than a hardboard. Travel well. Got to be careful. The downsides are careful with durability. Don't trust the foot straps, like inserts glued on the top of the board. Hey, yeah, it's got them, but I wouldn't be doing any jumps or anything with them. You know, it doesn't take off as easily, doesn't deflect as easily as a good hardboard would. You know, you don't get as good a pump or responsiveness or control. But overall, legit, you know, it's a legit add to wingboards, and they're here to stay. You know, some of the companies I would go with, more reputable company like Nash or Slingshot, look how, you know, far forward they made this track. They made it work for, you know, Armstrong high aspect foil, which is, you know, running forward in the box. I still got some room to go. So they put some time into these things. They totally work. They are legit. If you have more questions, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000. Reach out online, realwatersports.com. See you guys on the water.